Welcome to Whitetail Rendezvous, hosted by Bruce Hutchin. I'm so happy you've joined us today, and you're going to find out a lot about whitetail hunting on the show. This is Whitetail Rendezvous Podcast, episode number 379. This episode takes place down in Illinois, or out in Illinois, with Randy Brewer and Steve Jennings of Next Gen to Be Outdoors. They've got a lot to say about incorporating youth and women into the outdoors. And hey, some guys that you know don't hunt. Why not take them up and show them a tree stand, show them a rub, show them a scrape, show them where the bucks run. All of that means that we got a generation coming up that'll want to hunt. And that's the basis of the show. Plus, Randy's got a great story about his 170 buck he took during the rut, and he only set the stand once. That's a tip and technique you might want to use. So listen back, sit back, listen well to Next Generation to Be Outdoors. It's never too early to think about food plots. Whitetail Rendezvous has an ebook for you. Just simply text 33444 food plot to get your copy. Welcome to another edition of Whitetail Rendezvous. This is your host, Bruce Hutchin. I'm heading to Illinois. No, we're not going down to Pike County because, there's places in Illinois with booner bucks. And Randy Brewer and Stephen Jennings got a couple on their wall. So we're going to talk to them about Next Gen to Be Outdoors. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what's all about Next Gen Outdoors? Talk to me about it.
Well, when we started this group, we're avid outdoorsmen, and we really want to be able to share our experience with everybody that's willing to follow us, and hopefully get small kids, children involved in the outdoors, get our wives involved, get our own children involved in the outdoors, and possibly if there's any females out there or young children that are willing to learn about the outdoors, to contact us, and we'd be willing to work with them and show them about the outdoors.
And so, why'd you start this?
It was more of a hobby for us, just because we enjoy the outdoors so much, and we wanted to be able to take our videos of our hunts, of going out setting up stands, shooting our bows, out scout for turkey, and just put it out there on video for everybody to see that this is what we do, and we enjoy it so much that we want to share that with people that aren't so into it like we are, and the people that are avid outdoorsmen like we are too can see this is how we do it ourselves up here in Illinois.
So, how do you distribute this? Are you just on YouTube or social media? How do you get your program out?
We've got a Facebook page. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and also on YouTube.
So, which is your favorite? Which one works the best? I guess that's the way to say it. Which one of those social media platforms works the best for you?
Right now, I think Facebook is really working for us well. Until we get more films down and edited and put up on YouTube, I think Facebook is our bread and butter right now.
How many friends or viewers or likes do you have?
We have a little over 660 right now. We just started this in December.
Okay.
So, and we haven't even had the opportunity to be in the off season, had the opportunity to put any film out there with the spring turkey season coming up. Hopefully we get some video out there for everybody and to enjoy and watch us. And then once we reach 700, we're hoping to do a giveaway, a shirt, a hat, and a few other items to try to bring some more people into it.
So I'm going to give a promo right now for Trees and Camo. I don't know if you heard about them, but get a hold of Mike Pierce, J-A-I, Utley. Just go to on Trees and Camo and say that, hey, you'd like to promote their product. And if they give you a jacket or shirt or hat or whatever, they're big friends of mine. They don't sponsor me, but they're just really super people. So if you want giveaways, they're good people to talk to, and maybe you can get something at a discount or whatever.
Awesome. Definitely look into that.
So Trees and Camo, Mike Pierce, Jai Utley, Cobb Sanders own it, and a good friend of mine, Tina Kane, is helping there too. So great people. So there's a free shout out for you guys from Trees and Camo from Uncle Bruce. And then I can help you build Twitter. I wrote a little ebook on Twitter to help you build it, and all you do is text um, ATA 2017 to 33444, and you'll get my free book.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I wish I would have known you were there at the ATA show. I could have hooked up with you.
Yeah, I mean, me and 10,000 people, and my buddy was there, Bob Rourke, and he goes, I didn't realize you knew so many people. I said, well, we've had over 100,000 downloads.
Yeah.
And I'm so shy.
So did you hear what happened to Michael, Nick, and T-Bone?
No, I did not.
Somebody left them speechless in the Hoyt booth while I was there.
Did I lose you?
No, you're there. You're there.
Yeah, what happened in the Hoyt booth?
They were signing autographs and everything, and I'm a Purple Heart recipient. I was injured in Afghanistan in 2011, and I went to them because that's the only thing I really watched, because diehard outdoorsmen, you can't take it out of us. And I went and, kept watching them come back here, still bandaged and wrapped up, and bought me a crossbow and headed for the timber. And, they kept that drive, the adventure of the outdoors, so to speak, going in me. And if it wasn't for them having their outdoor show, I don't think I'd be back in the timber yet. I think I'd be still laying on my back.
I don't know. Yeah, I get it. No, I wasn't hurt. I served. But anyway, if you're a hunter, you're a hunter. Yeah, we all got bumps in the roads and we got our butts kicked for sure. But there's something about hunting that even if you're in the tree stand, you never shoot anything, man, be there at daylight, be there at nighttime when at dusk and when the sun goes down, man, those are special times. So, hey, salute to you for your service, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Bruce. The being out in the timber is like a sanctuary. It's a place to go clear your mind, just relax, and put the day behind you and move on to the next day.
Yeah, and tell me the story about that big buck, the one that would have been on the way I was looking to be on my left side, not the little dink on the right side. That's a joke, folks.
That deer would be sitting directly behind me is a deer that I call Chiquita. I hunted that deer for 3 years, and I could always get him to come in within 30 yards. There's a little thicket along a fence row. I was sitting on the corner of the 3 different properties that joined together. And, I know as well as anybody knows that the big bucks like to run them fence rows. But I put that stand there, and I left that stand there until the rut, which would have been around the 7th of November. I would never hunt that stand until that time. And I'd hunted him. I got him to come in. I could never get him to come out of the thickets. Well, one day my daughter had a dentist appointment in Peoria, and I told my buddy at the time that we were going to be out there in the stand at noon. And if I didn't see him by 3 o'clock, I was going to go over on the other property that we were allowed to hunt and see if I could catch him coming through there. Not 5 minutes after 3 o'clock, I heard a big, deep grunt. Saw a doe come running in. There's a 150-inch 10-pointer come in chasing her. About 5 minutes later, I heard a real deep bellow, and I knew it was him. I knew it was Chiquita. The doe come in, stood right underneath me. He come in at 6 yards broadside, turned, looked at me, and it was over. So it was a good feeling to put that deer on the ground.
Now, how big is he?
He's a big 11-pointer.
Did you ever score him?
No. My taxidermist said he's going to be in the lower 170s, upper 160s easily.
Yeah, great frame on him though. Just a great frame on that deer. He's
a real good deer. And I'll tell you what, Bruce, when I walked up on that deer, he looked like a cow laying with antlers on him. He was every bit of 300 pounds on hoof. They say, there's 300-pound hoof deer, 300-pound deer running around in Illinois. I didn't believe it until I walked up on him that day.
Yeah, there's big deer in a lot of places in the Corn Belt, if you want to call it that, and then you get up north over the border, and there's some steer deer. I call them steer deer, but the eating's good. Those corn-fed deer, the eating's real good, and when you think of that, hunting isn't just putting stuff on the ground, killing stuff. It's the whole experience, and let's talk about that for a little bit. I'm on a roll today. This is my third or fourth show. I have no idea. I do, but let's talk about the hunting experience and what that means to each of you.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Steve.
For me, going out and hunting, like you said before, I mean, it gives me that time to look back and see what the creators put out there for us. I mean, if I shoot a deer, yeah, that's a bonus. If I don't, I've seen everything from hawks flying to rabbits running away from squirrels. I mean, it just gives you that time to sit back and clear your head and know, you can get out of the timber and have that how you put it, clarification of what's going on around you then.
Now, Steve, where did the hunting tradition come from in your life?
That from my uncle. He started teaching me around 7 years old on, and he'd take me out, set me in his stand. I'd sit there quiet. And he'd, teach me and kind of coach me on what to do, when to do it, and what to look for. And over the years, he and I kind of separated and had a couple falling outs, and I joined the military and went and done my thing there and come back. And right now we picked up like we'd never, the years didn't even matter in between us. We go out hunting and everything else. And he's still my mentor, my guider, everything. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even pick up a bow yet.
How about you, Randy?
Yeah. Well, I started out when I was a young kid hunting with my grandpa and my uncles. We'd go out rabbit hunting, and I was always the dog that had to jump on a brush pile to kick the rabbits out for them. So I learned at a pretty young age, and it just brought in a passion for me to be in the outdoors, to be out there hunting. And I picked up the archery part of it when I got back from the Marine Corps in 2004. A buddy of mine and I started bow hunting. It's our very first time that either one of us bow hunted together. And I'd actually killed my first deer on the fourth day bow hunting. I shot a little button buck, and I was hooked then. And unlike Stevie, I said, it's not going out there shooting something every time you go out. If you did, it's not hunting. It's not hunting. I just like going out there, breathing in that fresh fall air, being able to see the different things that are running out there. There's things you never see, from the city, that if you don't get out in the woods and sit out there for a little bit. And it's just, and I've got my daughter, where she's interested in going out there with me now. But she's a little scared of heights at the moment, so I gotta figure out a way to get her broke of that. So, but yeah, I just love sitting out there, just breathing in the fresh air. And I do more video of deer walking by me than I do harvesting the deer, just because I enjoy it that much. It's not about going out there killing something every time you go out. It's going out there, seeing everything in nature, just like Steve said, enjoying what God has given us, and the right that we have to be out there in the outdoors, to be able to do what we do.
Yeah, and some people get mixed up on that. They go, well, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? And that's because them's the rules. I mean, pretty much it. Them's the rules, and I think of everything that's around us. There's laws and all that thing, and for the most part, you have to say, okay, that benefits me. And there's some things that I don't agree with, but having said that, the ability, the privilege, I think that's the word I want to say. The privilege to hunt is exactly that. And it's a privilege. It's not a right. We are hunters. We are stewards of the land. And, you can read all about that. But when it comes down to it, we are privileged to be able to sit there. North American model of hunting is way different than the European model. I mean, European, either you don't hunt or you have to pay for hunt or and fish and lease it. And people don't understand in this country how good we have it until you go to a different country and go, oh my goodness, the rules and regs and it's holy fright. I can go out of my house and go up the mountains, and I have a tag, and I can go almost from Wyoming. Well, I can go from Wyoming all the way down into Mexico and never be on a piece of, I have to cross a couple of interstates, a couple of roads, but other than that, I'm on public land. I'm on public land for over 300, 400
Wow.
miles.
Huh.
I mean, think about that. And, and that's why, that's a benefit of living out west. But having said that, it's a privilege. And I guess we're sticking on that. And just like, the people who serve for our country, it's an honor and a privilege, that they give up that part of their life and some their whole life. And we need to do a better job. I was talking to a guy today. I said, just one simple thing, just smile at a veteran today, in uniform or out in uniform. Just smile at them because you never know. You just never know where their head's at.
Exactly. Especially with all this PTSD that's going on with, it's, you never know what's going on in somebody's head that comes back from what they've experienced over there, across the big sea there. So.
Right. Yeah, and it is a certain thing. I know, folks, we're getting off of hunting here, so let's get back on it. You look at private land, and we're going to go and talk about that. And hunting mature bucks in private land is completely different than public land. How so?
Well, the experience that I've had on hunting on public land is there's so much pressure on your big mature whitetails, especially your big bucks, and if they get pressured a lot, they're going to go somewhere else where they're not getting the pressure. And on the private ground, as long as you don't pressure them big bucks are going to be there. My thing is my practice on saving the big bucks on the property is I'll take my doe the first part of October to put meat on the table. And then I won't touch the does anymore until after the rut hits and I get my buck on the wall. I'm a firm believer that there's nothing better than a mature doe out there that's an estrus for a decoy to bring the big bucks in there. Whereas on public ground, you don't have that luxury. You regulate it on where you can hunt because you've got other hunters out there that have already got stands out there they've had out there for years, and you can't just move in on them. I mean, it's just not ethical to do that. Whereas on private ground, you're pretty much
it's your ground. You can do what you want.
Yeah, you got control on where you want to put your stand, where you want to be, how you want to walk to your stand, how you want to walk out of your stand. And if you want to put food plots in, like we picked up Whitetail Food Plots USA, we can decide on where we want to put them food plots. Like public ground, you don't have that opportunity. You're going to hunt whatever the state or whoever puts in there for you, and that's why you're hunting over.
Now, you mentioned 5 or 6 different things, and let's unpack it because walking to your stand is critical to the success you're going to have in that stand in that sit that day. So let's talk about stalking your stand.
Walking. What I do usually when I walk into my stand, I'll spray down with upwind, and then I'll undo my bag, and I usually carry an ozonics scent eliminator with me, and I start running it as I walk in. That way, I'm trying to get 100% covered. That way, there's no scent, no smell that I just walk the same trail the big monster buck's going to walk. And once I get to my stand, I shut my unit off until I get everything back up in my stand, or usually if I'm a climber, I wait until I get settled in and know I'm not going to fall out, get my lifeline connected up, and then pull all my gear up, set up the ozonics, turn it back on, spray down real good with upwind, and set back and wait for them to come in. I mean, the biggest thing I think you got to watch out for is the other hunters coming in. They need to be as ethical as you are with scent control and knowing there's going to be more than one person out there, especially if you're on, public ground, and you don't have to worry so much about private ground to the public. You get that scent elimination down, and you'll be looking at a higher rate of taking a good deer than not taking one.
Was that Randy or Steve? Okay, so Randy, your thoughts on stalking your stand?
When I walk into my stands at night, the wind, I play the wind a lot on my access to get into my stands. Knowing where the deer are bedding, I don't want to walk into a stand. Even if I want to hunt that stand so bad that night, but I know the wind's not right, I'll move. I'll move to another stand, and I usually try to take the trails that I know the deer aren't going to come out of to get to the food or to get back to bed, per se in the mornings. So I'll take a path to get me to where I need to be. You're going to bump deer regardless. Everybody talks about worrying about pushing deer. There's a difference between pushing deer and bumping deer. You walk into your stand, I don't care where you hunt at. You walk into the timber, there's a deer in there somewhere, and you're going to bump that deer. If you don't pressure them, where you're not pushing the deer, 90% of the time that deer is going to end up coming back in because they're an inquisitive animal. They're going to come back and see what you were. They don't feel you as a threat. So I if I'm walking into my stand in the evening and there's deer out in the field, per se, I'll go ahead and walk to my stand. I'll just put my head down and keep walking. I bumped deer off the field, got up in the stand. 20 minutes later, Bruce, here they come. They come right back out. I have no idea I'm in that tree at all. Standing out in front of me feeding. But the wind is a real big factor on getting to your stand in the mornings or in the evenings, and you just got to be careful of that because you don't want the wind blowing into their bedding area when they're coming off in the evenings to go to feed. But yet you don't want to walk in another way when they're already out in the field, and the wind's blowing out in that field. They're going to pick up your scent there, and they're going to spook and they're going to run away to where they would normally come by you. Well, now you've just been busted because the wind's blowing in their face.
Let's stay right there and talk about holding mature bucks on private land. How do you do that, and how do you do that successfully year after year
Well,
after year?
the biggest thing is you have to teach yourself not to shoot the smaller bucks. You cannot. You get a 2.5-year-old deer. He's 130, 140 inch deer. A lot of people don't get the urge to shoot that deer. You cannot shoot that deer. You have to let him go, let him get bigger. Now to hold your bigger bucks on there, yeah, you're going to go out scouting, you're going to go out shed hunting, but you don't want to be out there putting a lot of pressure on that big buck. If you're putting a lot of pressure on that big buck every day, he's going to get tired of it. He's going to move on. Yeah, when the rut kicks in, he's going to be out there running, looking for them, does and estrus. Chance he might come back, yeah, but I would rather know that big buck's in there living in there, he's staying in there, and you'll catch him out every once in a while, before the rut, coming out feeding. He may come out right at dark. He may, 200, 300 yards away from you, but he's there. He's there because you're not pressuring him. You pressure them big bucks, they're going to move on. They're going to go somewhere else. They will not. They don't get big by being stupid. Sorry for saying that, but they get that size because of their intelligence. They don't like the pressure. They hate the pressure. You keep the does in there. You keep your big mature does in there. The big bucks are going to stick around as long as you're not pressuring them. So you definitely can't be out there trying to walk around the timber and trying to find, where's he been at? Get a general idea where he's at. You know where he's coming from in the evenings. You know he's coming up off bed. You know where he's headed to in the mornings. If you figure out an area where his core area is, try to stay out of that. If you find a bunch of rubs in one area, that's pretty much telling you that's his core area right there. So, and follow your straight lines. You know where your straight lines are. You know where that buck's going to be. He's coming through there. Put your trail cameras on them straight. See if you're getting him with another buck. And a lot of times around here with the private ground, we get a lot of big bucks off of other properties because of the pressure. They're getting pressure from other properties getting pushed onto us. So now like Chiquita, the deer we were talking about earlier, I knew that deer had been on that farm for 3 years. That's why I stayed out of that stand. I would not hunt that stand until the rut hit. I knew if I got in there earlier in the year, like October, middle of October, he was going to win me. He would bust me. He'd catch me move, whatever it be. I'd never see that deer again. And even I had a young kid, that I took out hunting his very first time, and he dropped out of high school. And he was a junior in high school, and I told him, I said, listen, if you get back in school, I will teach you the ways of bow hunting. I will take you bow hunting with me. He went hunting with me, graduated high school. He's got a good job. He's got, a couple children now, doing good for himself. And I told him, I said, Kurt, nobody hunts that stand, until November. Nobody. And he respected me enough to stay out of it. So, and he's actually got his own little page now too. So it's a big deal to not pressure them big bucks. If you pressure them, you're not going to hold them on your property. They're going to be gone. Period.
Makes sense to me. What about women in the outdoors? How are you guys making sure that the ladies are always invited?
We actually, what I've been doing is this might sound crazy, but I go on my page, on my personal page, and you see females on there that are interested in the outdoors. You see them out there in a camo, holding a gun, doing some shooting, whatnot. I invite them to like our page, to follow us, and we've had a bunch of them turn around and start following our page. And we're actually, like I said, we've just started. We want to see how it goes with the team we have. We're going to add a couple women to our team, and we've got a couple women in mind already that are outdoorsmen. It's like taking the daughters out there. The very first time I bought a bow was for my daughter. Just a little, 10-pound bow, just a little junk bow that she just shoots at targets. She loves it. She loves it. Now she wants to go hunt with me every chance she gets. And if we can get more females, involved in it, it's actually coming around pretty good. Where there's a lot of females in the sport right now. I mean, you got Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany and Melissa, a couple others. I mean, it's turning out to be there's starting to be more females in the sport than there are males anymore. I volunteer at our local archery shop here in Illinois, and you wouldn't believe the female clients that come in. Oh, I want to get interested into this, or my boyfriend or my husband just started shooting. I'd like to shoot with him, and our daughter, she's like 9 years old. She'd like to get into it too. But it turns out to be a whole family experience once they see what it contains and how enjoyable it can be.
What about guys that aren't so friendly to women? They look at them as competition.
I
Right?
think it's
Wrong?
wrong. I really do. I think it's very sexist if they treat a female like that because she wants to be in the outdoors. Hey, I'm more than happy for them to be in the outdoors. That's just that's another genre of hunters that we have that will have our backs when it comes to PETA and stuff like that. Saying that hunting's bad. Well, it's not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're out to provide for your family. You're putting food on your table. You're doing it's a passion, and I'm all for women being in the sport. All for it.
Well, it's a real big, like Michael Waddell and all them say. It's a real big family out here, and
Yes.
going to the ATA show, the Iowa Turkey and Deer Classic, Illinois Turkey and Deer Classic, you see what kind of cohesion everybody's built with each other. I mean, these guys looking down on the women for wanting to go out and hunt and stay side to side with them. I wouldn't be looking down on them at all. I'd be wanting to raise them up to the same pedestal I'm at. That way, okay, if I shoot a deer, guess what? My buddy's at work, or I'm out here with just my wife. Well, there's another pair of feet that can help drag that deer out. I mean,
That's sexist. Wait a minute. That's sexist. That is.
That was bad.
That was really bad. Go to your room. Folks, we're not having any fun today.
Right.
We're just not having any fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
And I'm all like I said
Oh, man,
earlier. I'm
but
all
hey,
for it. I'm
hey,
excited
guys,
about
in
women
all
that want to get into
seriousness,
the sport
we've got to make women real
it's
comfortable
amazing,
because there are a lot of great women hunters out there.
I mean, you can
They
tell
get their
hands
TV
down,
shows and they're smoking bucks,
like you, Bruce,
and
Randy, and
they're
I.
doing everything the
You can
guys
tell us
are.
all day long,
and,
this work or that work.
sometimes the women hunt
90%
better
of
than
the
men because
time,
they're
we ain't
more
even gonna take
patient
your
and
advice
they
into
listen to instructions.
consideration.
Us guys,
You tell
me, my
a
hands
woman
raised.
that, hey, this might
Sometimes
work, this
I don't
might
listen
work.
so well.
She's going to store all
And
that
I
information
pay a
in her
price
full
for
bag,
that. But
shake
ladies
up,
go, okay, I want
pull
to do this.
something out.
What do I need
She
to
might
do?
have that
I don't
that
know how to
idea
do it.
work great
And
for her.
and they get it done.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of, you know, in a store or any place. You just don't have to be in the field. You just say, "Hey, how can I help you? How can I help you be a better hunter at the range or whatever?" Just
Around here, I
make
think
them feel
the deers are getting
welcome because
overpopulated. I
you
mean,
guys
we're
are
getting
about the next generation
overgrown with
outdoors, and we need them.
the does are
Old
overpopulated,
guys
so it's
like
kind
me,
of keeping,
um,
like the old
we're
saying
not going to
goes,
live
you got to
forever,
have a doe to
and
buck
we need to
ratio
replace that. We
to
need
keep
to
a strong,
replace
steady
that with
herd.
people who have the
And
passion that
it's
I do and
proven to
you
be
guys
true.
do,
You're getting
and
these
want to
bucks that
fight
are,
for the opportunity to
you've
hunt.
got, let's say you got 18 does on a 30-acre farm, and you've got
When you
one big
think
mature
about
buck
the
and there's
future, let's
three.
stay
Well, now
right
you've got
there,
2.5 year
just
olds
in your
coming
neck of the
up,
woods. You
and
see
they're chasing all these
the
young
deer
does. Now
herd
they're putting
getting
their
better,
genetics in these young
slipping a little
does
bit, or
that the
let's
big
talk
buck's
about
not getting
game
a chance
management.
to get to. And yeah, I think it's the population around here in Illinois is getting a little out of hand, but yet still good for us because as hunters, we want that population to be there for us to go out and to be able to get them.
I mean, I agree. I mean, the population is there, but you got to watch some of these counties. It's like a roller coaster ride. You get in a different county. I mean, that county might drop down so big. What was it, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we had EHD and blue tongue. It was really bad. And I know a couple farmers that found over 80 dead deer on their places. I mean, it just took a nosedive, and we're watching the numbers now rebound out of that. But also, we got to watch for another drought season, which I think is going to come around and bite us. But I think, with all intent and purposes, I think they're coming back, and they're coming back strong now since that big EHD and blue tongue deal there. I mean, that took a nosedive on all our deer and all our big old bucks. We found them by creek beds.
Yeah. And another thing too, Bruce, is I'm not mouthing any outfitters or allocators that come in the state of Illinois to hunt, but going back on the buck to doe ratio is I feel the state of Illinois needs to put a stipulation out there that says, listen, you want to come down here to Illinois, you want to shoot a big buck, here's like some other states have. You have to shoot a doe or two before you put that big buck on the ground.
Just like Iowa. I mean, you got to earn a buck.
Because there's a lot of people that come in here to hunt, that, and I'm not just saying they're just outfitters or whatever. It's just they're after one thing only. They're talking about the antlers on the wall. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you've ever eaten antlers, and I'm sure it don't taste very good. So you have to thin out the doe population to make for the big bucks to be coming around. So you can't have 100 does to every 2 bucks. It doesn't work very well. Well, you can reach us on Facebook under Next Gen to Be Outdoors. We're also on Instagram under Next Gen to Be Outdoors. We're on Twitter under Next Gen, and then on our YouTube page, it is nextgen2b.com. Okay. I hope we answered your question on the management.
Hey guys, how do people reach out and find you on social media or your website? I'm writing a note here. Sorry about that.
Great, great.
Yeah, and it is important because to have big deer, mature deer, which a lot of people like to shoot. 4.5 years old takes. You got to let them go for 4 years, and sometimes that's hard. I killed a buck in Iowa. In all intents and purposes, I couldn't kill him, but his brow tines were as big as G2s and G3s and G4s. I shot him, boom, and I'd probably shoot him again. It was just such a pretty deer. You're looking from the side, you go, there's nothing there. You're looking from the front, his whole frame, he just needed 3 more years.
Now he's on
That's
my
all I
wall.
needed. But that was my hunt and my choice. And I
And you know
remember
what
what
upsets
Brenda
me,
Valentine told
on
me
that topic,
way back
Bruce,
when I
is
started this whole thing. She
you
said,
get these
Bruce,
people on Facebook
it's
all
your
the
hunt,
time that
it's your
they're
deer,
looking at somebody
whatever
else's deer and
trophy you
Facebook. Somebody
decide it
shot
is, it's your
a
trophy.
big
Forget
buck.
about anybody
And
else
you get
on
somebody on
social
there all
media
the time
saying,
saying,
why'd you
well,
shoot the
I shot
little
one, but I was
deer?
embarrassed
You
to
pay your
put
money
a
on
picture on
a
there.
guided
I'm
hunter,
sorry.
outfitted hunter.
Any deer you
You
harvest
pay your
with
money
a gun, a bow,
and
however you take it,
you do what
is
you
a
do.
trophy in
And
my eyes.
like that,
I don't. If
I'll
anybody's
never
going to make
forget
fun
that.
of
I'll
you,
never
they're
forget the
not an
picture of
ethical
him
hunter.
coming out to that
You should
bean
listen to
field.
them
The
anyways.
bean field was
I mean,
loaded with
any
those,
animal you
some
harvest,
smaller bucks. And
in my eyes,
I went,
is
oh
a
my
trophy.
goodness, he's so
You know,
pretty. Boom.
so.
I mean,
That was
whatever deer
it.
you shot it for a reason because you thought
Now
it
he's
was
on
the
my
biggest one
wall.
out there. It's big to you, and who cares what anybody else thinks? It's your deer, and you're proud of it. So I mean, be happy for them instead of condoning what they shot, or who cares if it's only a little fork buck? Hey, they were happy shooting it.
Or if you do have an opinion, it's sometimes keep it to yourself. Don't bag somebody for shooting that little four corner, when you've got 180-inch deer hanging on the wall. It's just that's, to me, that's just not being a very ethical hunter when you do that. So someone text me and say, "Congratulations, good job." Keep. Okay, we've actually got some team members that aren't here with us right now. We've got Taryn Taggart up in Michigan. We've got Kyle Peterson over in Gladstone, and Kyle Leanhart up in Fort Madison, Iowa. As far as we pro staff for Whitetail Food Plots USA. Give a big shout out to them. Happy Herd Nutrition, which I'm a professional, on the professional hunt team for them. Prime One Camo. We've got Mangled Broadheads.
Yeah.
We've got Delta Bowstrings.
Black Eagle arrows.
Black Eagle arrows.
Heck yeah. Hey guys, we're at the time of the show. You got a couple minutes to give shout outs to sponsors, friends, neighbors, countrymen, and then we're going to wrap the show.
Scope Enhancer, and we're working on a few more. And you ever heard of moon stands? We've got moon stands. If anybody wants to, if anybody wants to order a moon stand, and they use Next Gen 10 code, they get 10% off that stand for us pro staff perform. So make sure they use that code when they order the stands. Next Gen 10. You, Bruce. Yes, she goes out with me.
Brian Rich is my favorite. I'm going to get some of his stands to take to the farm.
Thank you, Bruce.
They're the best.
We can do it again.
There you go. Well, thanks, guys, and Randy Brewer and Stephen Jennings. Thank you so much. We had a lot of fun. This has been good. This has been a good show. And next time you got to get your daughter to get on the show and say hi. Does she hunt? Well, I'd love to do that sometime. So on behalf of thousands of listeners, we went over 125,000 iTunes downloads this past week, and we're in our third year now. So we're going someplace. I'm not sure where, but we're going someplace. But on behalf of thousands of listeners across North America, thank you, guys, for being on the show. Hey, stay tuned for the next episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. We're heading down to West Virginia, and we're going to talk to Josh Bias. And Josh does a great job of hunting mature bucks in the rolling hills and the steep mountains of the Appalachians. Having said that, he uses trail cameras, the wind, and mineral sights to pattern big bucks. And he's pretty good at what he does. He's put a few bucks on the wall that are over 140, and he's got some larger ones. But it isn't so much the bone, it's the mature buck and the challenge that he faces. So listen up. It's going to be a good show.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.